Hey everyone, it's been a while. I've been pretty busy, so haven't been able to pump any of these out, but I will I'll try to find some time out of my day to give my thoughts on any of these cards coming up. Um, this next one coming up, I don't have too many picks for it, but I do see about 2 to 3 picks that I do plan on playing. Well, I already have played it already, but two to three picks that I could snipe out of this one, out of this lineup, and the rest of the card is just not so great. Half the people I don't know who they are, and the other half are just I'm not saying anything that I really like. However, the next week card after that, UFC 256, featuring Figueiredo and Moreno, I do see some pretty good picks on that one. I can see about about 4 to 5 picks that I'm liking on that one. So I'll get to that one next week. Hopefully I remember to cast something here. With this one here, I actually don't even have a pick a money line or on either person. And my 2 picks that I'm pretty confident in is Jack Hermansson and Marvin Vettori goes over 2.5 rounds. That's currently set at 140. I got that at I think 110. I think that's a pretty easy over. Like Marvin doesn't really have power like that, and he's also got a blockhead, so he doesn't get finished very easily. Jack Hermansson doesn't have the most durability. However, like I mentioned earlier, I don't think Marvin Vettori has that much firepower to he's not that big of a heavy hitter to put Jack Hermansson out. And then also, Jack isn't also a heavy hitter either. He's more of a volume guy. So, I think on the ground they might cancel each other out just because Vettori is notoriously tough and really hard to put away. He's also got a black belt. Hermansson is the same way. He got a black belt as well. So that just leaves it to a decision. If I were to give a wrestling edge, though, I think I want to give it to Jack Hermansson. He's definitely going to have a slight edge when it comes to takedowns here. I don't think Vettori can take him down. Actually, you know what? I'll take that back. I think it's possible for both of them to take each other down. But I'm just gonna go with Hermansson here. I think he's got the better wins. He's kind of proven to me that he's beaten some decent guys. And as for Vettori, I mean, just for his resume alone, I don't think he's fought the best competition. I mean, other than Adesanya, but yeah, I'm slightly leaning towards the underdog here, Jack Hermansson, but I wouldn't be surprised either way whoever wins this. Like I mentioned, I think it's going to go over 2.5. I actually think it's going to go 5 rounds as well. The odds on that one is plus 160, and I think that's a good bet. I may even play starts round 5 as well at plus 140, which is only a 20-point difference. So I also got a little bit of money on Hermansson by decision at plus 450. I do see some. I mean, if you're on, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised either way whoever wins. But Vettori by decision is plus 340 as well. I do think that's a good line as well if you're on the Vettori side. But either way, I think it's gonna go over. That's my pick for this card. I mean, on this fight, the next fight, the co-main event is Jamal Hill versus OSP. I think this fight's gonna go over 1.5 pretty easily as well. If it doesn't, I actually think it's going to be St. Preux that's going to finish the fight if it doesn't go over 1.5. But I think this fight easily goes over 1.5, just because Hill he has a pretty good chin, and St. Preux also has a really good chin. And that's it. They're both over 1.5. They're really pretty easily to hit, and both of them, like I said, they're both pretty durable. The thing about Jamal Hill is the guy throws a lot of volume, and he doesn't tend to throw with a lot of power. And what usually ends up happening is guys throw too much power at OSP, and they start swinging, and they catch themselves off balance, and OSP finds that counter shot and puts them out cold, or find the takedown and things like that. And I don't think Jamal throws as heavy and puts himself off balance like most light heavyweights do against OSP. So that's why I think in this fight, there's going to be a lot of Jamal Hill going first. and OSP just waiting to counter and going second. And I think it's going to just yeah, it's not gonna be a high paced like fight where somebody's gonna try to knock each other's heads off, and that's why he's gonna go over 1.5. I mean, even Dominic Reyes couldn't put OSP out, and I think Dominic Reyes is more potent offensively than Jamal Hill. So, and out of Jamal Hill's, I mean, Jamal Hill has more decisions than he has finishes. So, I mean, that alone right there, like, I don't know why this fight set at 1.5. It should be at 2.5. But yeah, if another line I do see as well, like I mentioned, I don't think Jamal Hill finishes this fight, but I do think Ovince St. Preux can. I have money on the over 1.5. I have money on the fight goes to decision at plus 165. And then I also have money on Jamal Hill to win by decision at plus 305. I think it's sitting at 275 right now. I still think that's a pretty decent line. If this fight does finish, I would take Ovince here, and I think a good hedge with that would be St. Preux scorecards no action at plus 110. Yeah, and that's how I would play that fight. Two southpaws going at it. I think OSP doesn't fight too well against southpaws. He doesn't look very comfortable at all. His defense is lacking. Jamal looks decent. I mean, he fought a southpaw in his last fight against Clifton Abreu. Dropped him. Yeah, man, this is gonna go over. So that's an easy pick for me. And those are my top 3 picks for this card. My third over is actually Evloev over Nate Landwehr. I mean, this is kind of an obvious pick. Evloev is another like mini Khabib at 145. Great wrestler, great at, I mean, his stand-up is good. He's pretty much a great all-arounder. Landwehr is a pretty tough son of a bitch, so I don't see him getting. Well, you know what? I wouldn't say that the finish isn't possible, because of how much damage and how easy it is to hit Nate Landwehr. So there's gonna be a lot of opportunities for Evloev like to land on him, and if Nate tries to fight with his hands down like he did against Darren Elkins in order for him to try and catch those underhooks, Evloev, I wouldn't be surprised if Evloev would crack them. Man, you know, he could club and sub him here too. So, however, I do think it's gonna go over. I'm gonna play the over 2.5 at negative 210. I have a little bit of money on Evloev by decision at plus negative 125. I'm a little bit weary about this one. I mean, I think he's gonna win a decision here, but like I said, just the way Landwehr fights, he fights with his hands down, and he kind of a little unpredictable. So I mean, he might get himself, you know, knocked out here or finished here if he you know, tries to fuck around here and taunt, you know, or whatever he does, you know. So, but yeah, I got that fight going over as well. So those are my top 3 picks. The rest of the card, I'm probably gonna play for some action, but I don't have much insight, or not insight, but I don't think they're good for betting, and so I wouldn't recommend anybody else play it. So I'm probably not gonna break too much down on some of these fights. I'll leave that to you guys. Like I originally played. Here's another one I was looking at. But I don't know too much about these 2 guys, so you know, you can take this opinion with a grain of salt. But you know, call me I'm Fight Finder capping a couple of these guys, and Roman Dolidze versus John Allen. I'm just gonna Fight Finder cap this. Roman Dolidze is a. I mean, I think he's got a jiu-jitsu black belt. I'm not 100% sure, but I know he's his base is grappling. And John Allen has 4 submission losses. And Dolidze, I sprinkled some money on Dolidze by submission at plus 850, just off of principle. And that's usually the main way John Allen loses. So I just had to play that. But from what I've seen, I think apparently John Allen has a black belt as well, so maybe I might cancel out. Allen does have the better hands. He's got better footwork as well. Dolidze, it looks like he's got power, but I've noticed that just from the little that I've seen of him, he tends to, when he throws with power, The only thing though is he's kind of stiff in the way he throws, and he doesn't really. I mean, he's pretty basic, and he's very stiff when he throws, but he throws with a ton of power. And when he does throw, he tends to stay there and admire his work. So his footwork's not that great. I think John Allen's footwork is a little bit better. So if this fight stays standing, I think I can see John Allen busting him up and beating him here. But I mean, like I said, fight finder capping. I have to take that submission line just because of off of principle. So yeah, I took that fight as well. Not too much on it. I don't trust the Lidze just because it's I don't think his stand up is quite there. And the rest of the card, let's see here. Yeah, I didn't play anything else. A couple fights that I'm kind of excited to see is Ilia Topuria versus Damon Jackson. I think it's going to be a pretty action-packed fight. I think they're going to be scrambling like crazy, and kind of curious to see who's going to come out on top. I'm going to go with Topuria as a pick, but yeah, I'm not going to play that just because, Damon Jackson, he's pretty dangerous dude, so the odds are just way too wide for me to want to play Topuria anyway, so... the rest of the card, I don't really see too much that I like. I mean, I think Benitez is going to win just because Justin James only has one round in him. And those type of guys, they don't last. So, yeah, I wouldn't bet on a guy who has one round in him. But that one round, he does have a lot of power in that first round. So, and then, let's see here. Yeah, the rest of the card, not too big of a fan of. So, and that's it. Next week I have some better picks. There's a lot of good fighters on that card, so I'll just leave it at that. So my just to go over my picks again, I have over 2.5 with the main event, over 1.5 for the co-main event, Hill and St. Preux, and the over for Evloev 2.5 for that one. And then I have sprinkled some prop plays on Jack Hermansson by decision. The main event goes all 5 rounds. Or even starts 4 rounds. I got Jamal Hill and Ovent St. Preux to go all 3 rounds. Jamal Hill by decision, and then also a pseudo hedge, OSP by no scorecards, and Evloev by decision. And the rest, it's just some for fun plays. So, all right, man. Good luck, everybody.